Hey up folks, how's it going? We're going to get initiated here. I wanted to show you a little bit of the ethereal here for the Tau. And we're going to be fighting Adila and his Inquisitor. Now, I don't want to shame Adila here, because this is not going to be the longest of matches, but he will definitely get his revenge. What's going on here is, I'm going to show you what I do for the first game that I've played against IG. So my thoughts, right? So, hold on, let's zoom out a little bit, because we want this to be educational. The ethereal shit fighter. Literally the worst hero for combat directly in the game right now. Like, if you go into a 1v1 duel, this guy is the worst in the game. 550 HP. Absolutely tiny, and he does similar DPS as the Apothecary in melee with absolutely no ranged firearm. He is rubbish. However, he passively increases the HP, the max HP, and the damage resistance, boom, of nearby units. And then he has an active ability that he toggles on and off, which drains his energy, but it makes that passive HP and damage boost even stronger. So in other words, he is just the ultimate buffing hero. So look at the Fire Warriors here with the ethereal whispering nice words into their ears there with his toggled ability on. You can see it draining his HP. The Sentinel is just tickling these warriors, Fire Warriors. They're not even in cover there, and you've seen how well they traded. So I think, ironically, the ethereal, because of the nature of blob fighting against IG, the ethereal might even be stronger than the XV8 against IG, even though this guy is outputting basically no range damage. And traditionally, you'd think that ranged heroes are quite strong. But yeah, Fire Warriors, of course, very, very good at trading against the line infantry, and so I'm exploiting that. Adila has very good positioning here, though, to prevent me from being able to hit these guardsmen with this Fire Warrior squad and without moving a couple of my models out into the open there, but they're still getting buffed by the ethereal, even while the ethereal is busy capping right now. And look at the damage onto the guardsman, absolutely huge. Sentinel does manage to finally claim one of my Fire Warriors there, but it's going to back off now without the fire support of the guardsman. And look at the Pathfinder's flanking as well, pretty huge. Cheeky little photon nade on the Inquisitor. She's going to spend the time to use her Hammer of the Witches while she's snared. But then she has to retreat, and it's just the crazy DPS output right now from the Tau Firecast units is phenomenal. And so what am I going to do? I've only built a power node, nothing else, and I've gone for a third Fire Warrior squad. I mean, think about it. Okay, the only thing really that could counter me is a heavy weapons team, but, you know, I just have to avoid that and be smart with my positioning. But Kadashans are going to get wrecked because they're light infantry and they're short range, so they're just going to get melted. The spotters are the choice that Adila's going to go with, and you'll see how they perform. Obviously the spotters are a support unit and they can hit the mortar relatively easily with them, but I mean, I'm not a setup team, so I just sort of stand up and start shooting again. But you can force me out of cover like he's doing here. This was a really lucky special there from the Inquisitor to dislodge my ethereal, and then she uses Hammer of the Witches to stun him. So that was good play. Got rid of my ethereal, which is a bit of a bugger. Well, actually, oh my god, he didn't. Damn, I thought I would have had to retreat there. Bit of a mistake, I suppose, to not focus firing with the Sentinel in the meantime, but then just look at the state of this blob, man. I mean, he has the Stomp, and I don't even dodge it. I just face tank that. I don't know what I was doing there. I could have tried dodging it, but the blob of Fire Warriors with these ethereal buffs is just crazy, man. Just crazy. Now, the ethereal, you'll notice, he obviously has a lot of demand for energy because of this toggle that he has ideally all the time that he's near his nearby units in combat. So what you can do is you can buy these things called the Invocation War Gears, and they're in his accessory slot. There's 4 of them. They all provide a very minor buff to his passive aura, but they all give you an active ability as well. So one of them gives you plus 0.5 speed on the target squad and 20% damage resistance. So that's one example. Oh, I've got one here. It's the Storm of Fire. Unfortunately, in the replay, you can't see that I've got it. That's just a side effect of being able to get them all. But what this does is, It increases the range damage of my passive aura slightly, so the passive aura makes my nearby units do a tiny amount more range damage, but it also gives me an active ability which increases my range damage by 50%. It might be 30%. By a percent. At the cost of a 50% reduction in movement speed. That's what it is. It halves my speed for a 30% range damage increase. And obviously I'm Fire Warriors, that's going to be very good. But the reason why I'm talking about all these invocations is because every time the Ethereal uses an invocation, the invocation costs a little bit of upfront energy to use, but it then regens his energy, such that by the end of the duration of the regen, he has far more energy than he started with. But then the active ability from the invocation goes on cooldown. You might have to wait till I do the full guide on the Ethereal. But basically the point is you buy these accessories to get nice active abilities, and then you spam the active abilities as much as possible to generate more energy for the Ethereal so that it can keep his big fat HP and damage resistance toggle bonus on at all times. That is the basics of how you play the Ethereal, and he's got some really cool globals as well. I'm not sure if we're going to see them in this game. There you go, Storm of Fire being used again, so these guys are doing 30% more damage. But the Inquisitor unfortunately able to get into melee quite easily there. Going to slap her with a staff a bit. Gonna try and just kite her, but easier said than done. She's actually turning around there to hit the Ethereal, which was a bit of a mistake. The Sentinel, I don't know if it's already used its Stomp. I was going to say it could go in here and try and get some aggressive plays going. We've got another Fire Warrior squad coming from the bottom. Obviously we want to be aiming at the Guardsmen here. Running a little bit too close though. I don't know why I came out of the cover. Must have been a misclick. Just trying to focus down this frontal one while we're in cover. And look at the damage the Guardsmen are taking because they're just walking out in the open. I don't know what Adila's looking at. Sentinel gone rogue. In fact, maybe you're going to lose the Guardsman squad here. Very close. Yeah, they do. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, the DPS there from the Fire Warriors is really good. It's really a shame that we're not seeing the Tracers, because the Tracers are very pretty when they're working, but unfortunately not working. So I do apologise about that, guys. But yeah, there we go. We dropped down the Marker Light Global right there from the global bar of any of the Tau heroes, and all of a sudden that Sentinel's going to be taking more damage. And remember, the Neutron Blasters from the Vespid do Inferno damage, so that's 125% damage against the Heavy Infantry Sentinel. And then, of course, you know, he's gone for spotters. I just run into melee and rip them up with my Vespid. So I think this is the meta build against IG. Obviously, it's very, very early, but how IG are meant to beat Vespid and Triple Fire Warriors, I'm not entirely sure. I suppose the one advantage for the IG is that there's no transitional AV if I do get to tier 2. But the intention is just to win the game in tier 1 and not having to care about that. That is something that will probably adjust as well. I think there's a plan at the moment to add an upgrade in tier 2 to Pathfinders, which will allow them to shoot out EMP and fusion grenades with their grenade launcher, not just photon grenades. And that would at least provide something to deter vehicles, or at least slow them down. Some transitional AV that doesn't rely on the drone. Once again, man, just fat buffs. Storm of Fire dropped on these guys for more damage. It's going to be tricky for IG to outtrade them. Now, one thing that I do think IG would be very good at here would be going for las turrets, because there's no flamers in tier 1 other than the XV8 flamer if you're playing the XV8, but certainly if I'm the Ethereal, I have no access to flamers in tier 1. So the las turret, even though the Fire Warriors are doing a lot of piercing damage, under repairs the las turret is more resilient than the Sentinel, so it should be pretty good. It's also doing more DPS than the Sentinel. I mean, you would expect that given it can't move, but yeah, good use of las turrets I think will be crucial for IG in this matchup. I'm not convinced that the Brazier is a good idea. I think just more durability with the Rosarius would have been helpful, and possibly just saying forget that and going for the crossbow bolt pistol and tanking from green cover. Of course, Fire Warriors can pay for the Eternal War style upgrade in order to get a bit more anti-cover, but then it means I'm not going to be able to go for triple Fire Warriors and Vespid because that's just too expensive. So yeah, Adila using the Behemoth to try and proc a comeback. I used Storm of Fire there just to get a bit more damage, then try and take out the gen, but I don't want to risk bleeding, to be honest, for the gen at this point. He's already got his Behemoth, so it doesn't really matter. Obviously, I'm massively ahead on the VPs. Adila hasn't been able to maintain his units. Trying to stall here, actually just using the range stance with the neutron blasters on my Vespid to try and bleed the spotters without getting too close and taking too much damage from the Bane Wolf. Then, of course, I seen the Bane Wolf was departing to my gen farm, so I just jumped the spotters and they're gone. But yeah, you can see the transitional AV issue for Tau. Oh, notice by the way as well, because I went triple Fire Warriors and it cost me so much wreck, I only went 2 gens and it was fine. Transitional AV is a problem, so I'm going to back tech to the heavy drone squadron and get my missile drone. And I've got the Ethereal nearby to use the Storm of Fire ability to give 30% more range damage. Obviously that ability is amazing against for setup teams, because they don't care about the movement speed reduction really, because ideally they want to stay set up, right? In which case they're not moving at all. It's just a free 30% damage boost, which is good. But I think it was off, it didn't have the cooldown ready. Is Adila noticing? No, he hasn't, so he loses those guardsmen. He was looking down here at these Fire Warriors which are shooting up these spotters. So we're going to move my missile drone forward. A little bit vulnerable at the moment because of the Inquisitor right there, so some Fire Warriors are going to rotate. One of these Fire Warriors has a shield drone in it to make them substantially tankier. Though I must admit, I'm a little bit... I'm a little bit confused because the HP value here is so much... It's not really that much higher at all. Oh, these are level 2, that's probably why. Yeah, and these guys are on the level 1. Okay, forget it. That's what's going on. This must have come from the global, rather than being a shield drone that you can buy for the squad. The Ethereal can... One of his globals is he can put a shield drone into any squad, and that drone will join them, adding 150 HP, and also granting 15% damage resistance to the entire squad. A beautiful direct hit there from the missile. But Adila is flanking with some stormtroopers, trying to keep the missile drone in play to deter this thing, but to be honest, I've not really got too much to rotate with. Yeah, and he's going to de-set up my drone with some mortar fire, and I'm just going to retreat. But the next job for me is to grab a broadside, because that will be extra anti-vehicle with the railguns in particular, but just good against everything really. I've dropped another drone down there. Get a bit more damage resistance on these Fire Warriors, certainly cheaper than buying the squad leader. And these are permanent basically until they get killed. Though there are some mechanical problems with this, so it's probably going to be reworked, but whatever, the principle will stay the same. Anyway, we win. We win that one. So obviously Adila running out of VPs there. Just not really able to keep up in tier 1. I mean, the scaling of this army is pretty insane. I mean, now I've got a broadside super heavy infantry. What's he going to do against that? 2,000 She, like, he's not going to do anything. This thing can just charge at the Bane Wolf and kill it with its autocannon smart missiles. Never mind the railgun. And then obviously I've got the missile drone as well. Like, this guy is screwed. So, yeah. Interesting, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom out and I'm going to watch a couple of replays from some other players and see what they do. Because that was the first game I ever played as Tau versus IG. So let's play this one and see what happens. Scrap is the Tau player and Fiery Marine is the IG player. And a bit of a funky map here, but we'll see what happens. I want to see if their intuition is similar. Now we do have an XV8 rather than... Wow, this is a very zoomed out map. Jesus Christ. I feel like I'm a mile away. We do have an XV8 here instead of the Ethereal, which... Yeah, like I say, I actually think that probably is on most maps going to be worse. Obviously in an army versus army fight in the late tier 1, and certainly in tier 2, you will be weaker than the Ethereal, but... But yeah, this guy in the early game is going to obviously output a lot more damage. This guy is outputting the same DPS as the Tech Marine, which is really relevant given he has about 70 HP more than the Tech Marine, and is knockback immune, and has a short range jump. And some of those things might be changed for that reason, but we'll see. Oh, and he's also the first hero that is knockback immune that can also take cover. So that's notable. Because one of the ways you'd counter like a Tech Marine in green cover is to knock him out of it. And the Ethereal... sorry, not the Ethereal, what the hell? The Chaos Lord has even more HP than this guy, but the Chaos Lord can't take cover, so that kind of balances it out. So yeah, we'll see. It's funny though, people are saying that he's actually not particularly that strong in spite of these powerful starting stats. Just because of the nature of the Tau army, you still get overwhelmed by melee early on, and we do have a Lord Commissar here, who is arguably a better early on melee brawler than the Inquisitor. I mean, that's not even arguable. He is better at that. I suppose it's arguable whether or not he's a better melee hero. But only double Guardsman, no Sentinel from Fiery, which is definitely different. I wonder if he's going to go with heavy weapons teams. That would counter... Yeah, he is. Okay. Well, that would counter the fast triple Fire Warriors to get the setup team faster, but that's why I go for Vespid after anyway. Because the Vespid will counter the heavy weapons team. But of course, if you layer the heavy weapons teams, that might help. Really nice deployable cover there, putting all these guys in cover. Of course, it's too early in the game to have the... I need to remember the upgrade for the Fire Warriors, but the tier 1 upgrade that gives them some stat boosts and the cover ignore ability. Forgot the name of it.
I am newly fortified.
And so yeah, they get kind of wrecked there, walking into the open into all the firing line of the Guardsmen and the Commissars engaging. So instantly quite a different start here. But Scrap, okay, he's gone for the Airburst Launcher, which is basically a grenade launcher. Incidentally, that right there was an advantage of the Tau Commander early on. A lot of people have asked me, what's the point of this tiny little jump that he gets? It's nowhere near big enough. I can't get much mobility. It's useless. It has no utility. Well, if you were a normal commander there that gets suppressed, you'd have been stuck and having to walk out and lost nearly all your health and took ages. This guy just turns around and jumps straight back out. So there you go. Oh. You can also do that. You can jump into setup teams, especially if you can come from like an angle. So focus fire on the Pathfinders is wise. They're squishier. But this is going to be brutal. You can't really take cover against this thing. It will do huge damage, and that's a nice advantage. Yep, there we go. Guardsman getting gibbed. Boom, 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 boom. Oh my god, look at that damage. Yeah, this is the use for it. That's for sure. I don't know if Fiery knows that this is a grenade launcher. Yeah. So you got to take cover against it. I think you actually take more damage if you're in cover. With a grenade launcher. Oh yeah, and the XV8 is not back immune, which... That's the thing, if this guy's sat in cover, he is a bit of a bugger. But I like this play. I think fast heavy weapons team might be a good idea. I don't know about spotters. Because now he's got nothing to counter the Vespid. The Vespid are obvious, because you've got spotters and heavy weapons team, both of whom can't do anything against Vespid. So
The foe seeks to deprive us of a vital resource point.
I'd probably go heavy weapons team Kadashan. Also, if they go triple Fire Warriors, the Kadashan, you could get some utility with IEDs, but it's a bit of a gamble whether or not they go where you plan them. Triple Guardsman might be effective as well. I think forcing melee with cheap Guardsman squads is not necessarily a bad idea. Man, that airburst launcher is really good against the Guardsman though. Really good. See, good job tying up the XV8 with the Guardsman squad there, but Vespid's staying in way too long. Holy shit. Wow. How has he not lost a third model? There you go, he does lose 3 models, so that's pretty brutal. Oh my god, he's got the Flamer as well? Wow. Full AoE. He is going to be roasting and blowing up those Guardsmen. So he is actually committed to the Flamer in addition to the grenade launcher, which is kind of wild. The AoE damage here is going to be insane. I mean, as soon as I see that, I was going to say I'd be getting Carapace armor on the Lord Commissar. Extra regen and max armor. Max HP, because basically this is not going to be doing really any hero damage anymore. It's just going to really bully the guardsmen. So it really justifies that upgrade on the Commissar. Feels like Fire Warriors got way too close there. Maybe they were just moving in to try and shoot the heavy weapons team, and he was surprised that all these guardsmen appeared out of nowhere. Oh, Scrap lost the Vespid. What? Oh, was the Commissar in retreat path and caught them? Oh, he must have been, because he ended up loitering down here. Oh, that's huge, man. Now he has no counter for the heavy weapons team. And Vespid are such a good unit right now. I think they're crazy OP, to be honest. Well, maybe not crazy OP, but I do think they're OP. Yeah, big loss. Big loss for sure. I mean, that's the thing. As good as Vespid are, much like Storm Boys, who are just insane for the amount of DPS they do, they're light infantry. Compared to Raptors ASM Interceptors, the Raptors and ASM Interceptors, whilst they do less DPS, they're so much more resilient against things like lasguns in Tier 1. But Vespid will fall to lasguns. And that's unfortunately what happened there. So not really getting the best value out of the XV8 right now. Fighting spotters and the Commissar is not ideal. For the AoE damage, you definitely want to be attacking the guardsmen. I mean, look at that. The Commissar can just ignore the XV8 all day long. Probably an idea just to force melee on the guardsmen. Yep, roast them with a flamer. Pew, 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 pew. But, yeah, they just force melee. Commissar rotates over. At least he's got some Fire Warriors en route. Now, Scrap has actually got to Tier 2 a lot faster than Fiery here, so it's quite nice that he's going for a Devilfish, which I don't believe we've seen in action yet. Forcing melee on the heavy weapons team. Probably just wants to ignore the Commissar for now. Oh, he stopped fighting it in melee. Oh, silly. He's going to go down again. He's going to live, it seems. But that means he hasn't actually got rid of the heavy weapons team, so... Yep, he's going to struggle to be able to advance here. So here is the Devilfish. Very big vehicle. The Tau chassis for the vehicles are just generally massive compared to Razorbacks, Rhinos, for some reason. And that's going to face Sanctly Heavy Bolter very nicely. We do see the last cannon queued up, ready to go. So functionally, basically a Razorback. Actually has a little bit more DPS if you add up the damage of the 2 drones and the burst cannon than a Razorback, but because it's got 3 guns, often it'll fire at different models, and so it won't actually bleed squads as well as a Razorback will. In that sense, it's very similar to a Chimera. So a bit of transport wars going on here. Pathfinder's being the only repair unit, still running around with 2 models, which is fair enough, I suppose. Doesn't really need more models on them if he's just using Fire Warriors for the firefights. So we've got the shield drone upgrade here on these guys, adding an extra 300 HP and passively increasing, no, 250 HP, sorry, and passively increasing the DR of everyone in the squad by 20%. So they'll be pretty resilient. Double shield drones and a Chazui in this squad as well. We'll see with the different army coloration scheme. So he's got a pulse rifle by default. There's more damage, 300 HP on him. And he gives you this really powerful aim in what stat that actually doesn't do reduced damage. And can do AoE suppression. Marker like global there on the last cannon. Make it take more damage. Oh, that was a beautiful artillery spotter usage. He was about to use the cover ignore ability there, which would have shredded this thing, but Nice knockback into the Power Claw is effective. XVA, yeah, I mean, I just don't think this investment has been worth it. I don't think the Flamer was needed. The grenade launcher was fine, it did its job, and it's quite good against a heavy weapons team that's going to take cover. But to get them both, too expensive for something that can't really do anything to heroes. Devilfish is in range. Did he just execute it? Oh, he did. Go on, Fiery. He executed the heavy weapons team there for double damage, and therefore it sniped the Devilfish. Wow. That is such a powerful combo. Especially against Tau, who are relying on ranged units, so they can't exactly rush in and try and kill you in melee while you can't retreat. XV8, gonna have to leave. Gonna die, maybe. Yep. Too many guardsmen getting out of that Chimera. Suddenly not looking so hot for scrap. He's going to go for the broadside battlesuit. Makes sense. Probably a good map for it, to be honest, if you look at the setup with how close these bases are to this central VP. Just loitering in this sort of area, or this kind of area, is probably very effective for a broadside. Remember, the broadsides can't retreat, so you really don't want to extend them into the enemy's half of the map, unless you've got a very good reason to do so. Because they're vulnerable. They can be affected by infantry-based snares and vehicle-based snares. So there's a lot of things that can mess them up and stop them from being able to back off. But they're incredibly tanky and they do anti-all damage. So let's see what's going to happen here. Setting up the broadside. Boom! Immediately fires its railgun and claims one of those spotters. Now contributing to DPSing down that commissar. And the beautiful thing is that he does AV, even with those smart missile systems in his hands. So pretty fierce stuff. There's some of the autocannon smart missiles. Fire Warriors just pushing up. A lot of investment here on the commie. Stubbornness as well, but only 2 guardsman squads. Really should be getting more, I think. Crazy amount of float here from Fiery. Just get a stormtrooper or another guardsman. You might as well. Yeah, quite deep with the broadside now, but to be honest, there's not really anything to threaten it. We do have 1 squad of guardsmen loaded up in this Chimera. If you want to do damage to the broadside, you're going to have to get plasma guns. I'm afraid the, well, unless you kill it in melee, of course, with the commissar, that's for sure. But yeah, las guns are not going to do anything to it due to the super heavy infantry. Wait, yeah, there's still a guardsman squad in there, because I can't click them. You can see the Tower Commander doing some good damage. I like this by Fiery though, tying him up with spotters. Very versatile. Stealth suits, okay. Really good piercing DPS coming out of these things, and they're heavy infantry as well. All the more reason to get plasma guns now at this point for Fiery. He's got heavy infantry stealth suits, super heavy infantry broadside. And these stealth suits are in fact gonna pick up some fusion blasters.
The foe seeks to deprive us of a vital resource point.
So I think at this point you'll probably have seen the gameplay with Twalalee and Vagrant. Twalalee playing the XV8 and Vagrant playing the Auto Malleus, and we've seen the fusion blasters do really well in that game against melee walkers, because their DPS is pretty damn good, and obviously they're on a super mobile, annoying to catch unit that can infiltrate and jump. But they're really short range, so against fast moving vehicles like transports and tanks, not very good. Unless you can snare it first, not very good. And right now, Tau's snare is the missile setup team. Obviously Scrap doesn't have that, so I think, well, I think this is a bad choice. He's going to struggle. I would have probably gone for the heavy drone. and then you can layer your broadside with it. You could even consider going for double heavy drones. One suppression team to stop this guy running in, and then another missile one to hunt the Chimera. Layering your broadside with a suppression team can be very, very strong. Obviously, melee is a good way to shut this thing up. But Scrap quite content right now, just sort of chilling in the mid. He's got the VP, so he's got sight range, and the enemy has to come with him, to him. Pathfinders, he's done a really good job with these, just running around capping on 2 models. But unfortunately for Scrap, Fiery has the VPs, and that no doubt played in his thinking when he went for tier 3 and now has Kasakin out, so... Yeah, not sure what is going to happen here. I don't know what the broadside's doing moving this far forward. That must have been a misclick, right? Oh my god, what is he doing? Hello? Mate, there isn't even any plasma guns, and these things are dying relatively quickly. Yeah, Kasakin just going to melee with the stealth suit. They need to jump out. Obviously, double repairs is healing way too much. Stealth suit fusion blasters were a mistake here. Should have just got the setup team. Yeah, but in general, Scrap quite far behind for most of that game. Not bad though. Flamer definitely a mistake. I think the airburst launcher, it's only 20 power. It's like dirt cheap, like as cheap as a wargear can get. So it feels really quite good, certainly in this matchup. But there you go. That's some IG versus Tau. We do have one more replay because these are all quite short, so I'm going to do one more. IG versus Tau. It's these players again, so I assume it's their second match. So we just watched this one, so we'll delete that. Yeah, they're playing the same races. So they're going for the re. Let's see if they're going to change up the build order. So I don't think spotters are a good idea. Not if they've not got a drone, a heavy drone. I'd go for heavy weapons team into Cadishans with probably triple guardsmen. I don't know if the Sentinel's worth it, you know, I'd have to play it more myself. It's so hard to keep the Sentinel alive against the Fire Warriors. And then in tier 2 when they get pulse rifles, it's just like, okay. Okay. But even Vespid in tier 1 having Inferno, really good against the Sentinel. If I was Scrap... Yeah, I don't know whether Vespid plus setup team off the back of double Fire Warriors is better, or to go for triple Fire Warriors. I honestly think triple Fire Warriors might just be the way to go. It's so overwhelming, the DPS early on, it's crazy. And they are 350 power, sorry, whoa, 350 rec, so they're pretty expensive, but... You know, it's not that much more expensive than double tax. Double tax 900, triple Fire Warriors 1050, I mean, it is. It's not unimaginable. But yeah, Sentinel going to be very good against the Pathfinders, that's for sure. So it deters them over there. But it's built a node this side anyway, so it's not too big of a deal. But a good rotation with the Pathfinders actually here from Fiery. Gets them into position with his XV8, obviously threatens the photon grenade to snare him. What you can do is you bait the Commissar into melee, and then when he's in melee, you use the photon grenade, and then while the photon grenade is in flight, you jump him away so he doesn't get snared by it. Okay, that was not the best photon grenade I've ever seen. Pathfinder's marking the target there. Fire Warriors are going to have to rotate bottom to deal with that scent. One gen, so presumably not going triple Fire Warriors. I'm interested to see what he goes for here. If he just goes for fast Vespid or if he goes for a setup team. Yeah, typically you'd have 2 gens for a setup team, but not necessarily. Fiery goes for spotters. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I suppose the XV8 has some innate anti-heavy weapons team potential because of the jump break and suppression. But I still feel like the heavy weapons team is better than spotters. Even if they want to go Vespid, which they probably do. Especially if you get a Sentinel, they probably will want to go Vespid. And that is what Scrap is going for. Should be able to melt the spotters very fast here. He's focusing the scent though. Blinded by the smoke.
I walk in the witch path, and it leads to war.
Carapace armor coming up for the Lord Commissar. No. Okay, Flamer coming up for Scrap.
We lack nothing but a foe.
Interesting.
Our rangers have met their
I suppose this map's a bit bigger. Not as easy to blob your entire army, so the airburst might not be as effective. So Vespid initiate for the first time. Flamer contributing. Pathfinder's going to come back out and reclaim this natural wreck, running around again on 2 models, which is fine. Whoa, that was really bold. Why did he do that? What? He executed that Guardsman squad. Oh, the Vespid didn't hunt them though. What the hell? This was an easy wipe. They're still... Wow. Okay, Sentinel. Does it die here to the Vespid? It stopped moving. Oh, it's got the stomp. Oh. Well, I guess he should be fine. I didn't realize it had the stomp. Yeah, mission accomplished. 1 Vespid goes down. Sentinel lives. A lot of Guardsman bleed, but, you know, it's kind of... Guardsman bleed is... like having a single leech sucking on your thigh. You're not gonna bleed out anytime soon.
I walk in the witch path.
I don't know why that was the analogy. But it's what came into the head. Triple gens for Tau. Just finishing their 3rd gen, double for the IG. Looking like neither player wants any more units in tier 1 here. And to be honest, quite an even game so far. I mean, just shy of 100 VPs up for Fiery, but that's going to change around now. As Scraps decapped his Nat. Go on, kill some of those spotters. Just missed out. I suppose, to be honest, killing the spotters isn't even that big of a deal. We'll just be reducing the upkeep because it probably won't reinforce them fully. So 1 Guardsman goes into melee. Maybe they all do. That's why the Vespid jump over to save the day. Hooray! Go on, Vespid. Thank you for the greater good and all that. And suddenly, with no repair support nearby, that's a pretty awkward situation for the Sentinel to be in. God, those Inferno Neutron Blasters are so nice. They're really good against Sentinels. To have a really solid, tanky, jumping melee unit actually have good range damage when you're chasing the Sen is so nice. But fair play to Fiery for keeping it alive, you know? He's not being too greedy with it. Oh, a drop of micro. He's not seen the Pathfinders. Scud up. Okay, gets out. I don't know why the Guardsmen weren't shooting, but there you go. Must have been blocked line of sight. Not really seen anything from the Flamer yet. Maybe it bashed that. Did it have a node in it? I don't know. Wow, overextension from the Commissar. Carapace armor so strong. What the fuck? HP regen from that, keeping him alive. God. I think he deserved to die then. To be honest, Scrap turned on the toggle and got the +8 range from it, because he's got the upgrade now. He would have had the range for a couple more shots and got the kill, but there you go. It's like, have the spotters done the work here? I don't think so. Stomp. Focus fire of las guns. And tank with your Sentinel. Yeah, Vespid, back off, go back in for another jump. That's going to be the end of the Guardsman. This is why the Vespid is so good. So good in the matchup. Okay. Ooh, overextension from the Sentinel there. Yeah, needs to wait a bit. Flamer needs to get right on that with the Guardsman squad. Oh yeah. And now just pursue that sentinel. It's going to die. He can't. I don't think he can just run back there. Oh no, the commissar's tying up one of them though. You never know, it might be alright. Vespid. Vespid, go! Get the kill. Have they got the energy for the jump? Surely. Is it 60? Might be 60, you know. Oh, mass retreats. Wow. I think he could have killed the Scent there. It's only a Chimera. It only does range damage. You're not going to die in retreat. It'll be fine. But yeah, Scrap's tier 1, super effective here. Oh no, man, he's going for the stealths again. This is such a mistake. You've got to back tech to the drones and get the missile squad on them. It's like getting IG Melter Stormtroopers instead of getting a heavy weapons team with a las cannon. You don't do it, because if you don't kill the Chimera in the initial alpha strike, you're just going to get wrecked. They do good damage, but they don't do that good damage when double guardsmen are repairing them. And they could potentially get fucking plasma and melt your stealth suit, so it's not a good idea. Melter on the hero 2. So that's more DPS. Let's see. Let's see. He could do with getting the recon armor on his crisis commander to get the proper jump range. And whilst the infiltration was nice to surprise the Chimera there, the problem is he doesn't have energy for the jump now, so he needs to turn off his infiltration and get the energy back. They do kill the Commissar, a lot of focus fire there from double melters and Vespid and double fire warriors. I mean, it's literally the entire freaking Tau army. But yeah, the Chimera is just going to disengage, and there's no more energy because they use it all infiltrating. Okay, he's going for command battle suit, that's fine. It's more speed on the XV8, which is okay. But meh. I think I'd rather have just the increased jump range, to be honest, right now. So this thing, yeah, HP regen out of combat, not bad. Speed, which is good, and 2 buffs, but I think I would rather just have the longer range on me jump. Because you've committed to getting this fusion blaster, so you need to make it worth it and kill this thing, but I don't think it's going to be easy. They're too short range, and the guardsmen just repair. Very surprised the Sentinel's still alive. Yeah, he's having to fight all the guardsmen. Jump with the self suits. Jump away. Oh, too slow. Scrap, where's your micro, mate? These could have jumped over and killed this fucking Sentinel. Oh my god, the bleed. Huge damage there on the fire warriors. Where's the other squad? Oh, they're all loitering here, man. This is not good. A Narlock? Oh. Yeah, I think what's happening is Scrap is falling into the bait of these fusion blasters, and they're just not good enough against a competent player to kill the Chimera. They're not. No. I mean, when you do mark it, you can do some really good damage, but you have to get too close, and they're just dying to las guns. There's not even any plasma guns, for God's sake. If there were plasma guns, these stealth suits would have got wrecked so fast. And now he's got a Narlock, which is cool because it's vehicle armor, but at the end of the day, if Fire is tier 3, he's going to have a tank suit, and this dinosaur can't do much against a tank. It's too slow.
race is bar to us.
As ever, we serve the craft.
Give me a task.
This is painful to see, really.
We have 200 points remaining.
These guys ruin a lot of comps. It's just the schoolboy era. It's just reminding me so much of Melter Stormtroopers on the IG, who are also an absolutely trash AV unit. They are really good for the first engagement when you don't know they're there. And then after that, they can actually ruin your entire game because they're so short range that you have to get so close to the enemy vehicle, you keep bleeding models and not killing the damn thing. And then it ruins your economy and it ruins your game. Because you're stuck with a melee walker when the enemy's getting a Lehman Russ. Shit's not going to go down very well for you.
We are losing a victory objective.
I mean, he can lead with an Narlock. Narlock will be nice against the commie. I guess. But no snare. So what are you going to do? Really good flare there by Fiery. Halving the range of all these boys, so they're not even getting any pew-pew as they hit the angle there. Narlock stopped moving as well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've seen any of the abilities coming from the Command Battlesuit yet. Well, you can't kill a Chimera. Good luck killing a Lehman. That's what I'll say. Running it down. Yeah, the Fire Warrior's not even here to deal with the Guardsman and the commie, but you can't kill the Narlock. You can't kill the Lehman with a Narlock. Yep. Because he didn't get a snare. How do you kill a transport with IG repair support when you don't have a snare? This is bait. You need to back tech to the las cannon, essentially, the drone missile launcher. If you snare it, then this can work. Yeah, he's getting the heavy drone squadron there. So there you go, schoolboy error. They'll learn it. It's very interesting, isn't it? New meta. It's cool to see. Hope you're enjoying the Tau, folks. A little bit of Tau versus IG for you there. Just a little taster. Hopefully get some glorious faction wars of that at some point. That will be crazy with all the ranged firefighting from either side. That is going to be all from your boy Torpid this time. I am signing out.